So you're about to order your new skydiving container, but wondering what are all those options that you can choose from? In this video, I'm gonna explain to you what are those options and which one is the best for you. What's up, Skydivers? It's Catherine from Skydive Vibes, sharing the passion of skydiving and helping you become better and safer skydivers. So if you're new here, consider subscribing not to miss our weekly videos all about skydiving. So I don't know about you, but if you've been looking into buying your own skydiving container, you did find the order form pretty complex with all those options. So in this video, I wanted to go over them with you, well, the most common one that we can see, whatever the manufacturer you decide to go with, and go over them to explain them to you, show them what they exactly mean, and let you know why you would choose those options to see if they fit your style of skydiving. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Alright, the first design element that you may have to choose is the articulation. So you know, when we talk about a harness that is articulated, it means that it has rings that allows more movement at certain places, usually the chest and the hips. So if you can see a ring on the chest where your chest strap is attached and on your leg pad around your hips, well, that means that it's an articulated harness, and that brings more freedom of movement with your skydiving container. This option will be more considered when you are looking into free flying or other disciplines like that, where you need to move freely in various directions. The next option, the BACKPAD. So depending on the company, you may have to choose between different types of BACKPAD, and those are really in terms of comfort. Some may have nothing specific in their back, so that means you may feel your reserve canopy or your main canopy when it's packed, or when it's not quite packed properly, you may feel some corners and stuff. But there are other options where you can add some layers of pads that will make it way more comfortable for you. Now, depending on the manufacturers, of course, there's various types of pad that they may add. Some are foam pads, some are other types. It's really up to the manufacturers, but keep in mind that by adding a back pad option may simply add more comfort for you and maybe fill out the gap in your back, so having a better fit of your container. Another option that we see often is the chest strap size. So more often than not, you will have the chance to choose between a 1-inch chest strap versus a 2 inches chest strap. Both are fine, it's up to your liking, but for females, it is recommended to maybe look at a wider chest strap for better comfort on the chest. Next option, FREEFLY modification. Again, you'll see some manufacturers offering specific FREEFLY modification for an extra cost, so that is great if you're looking to dive into that discipline. One example may be adding tabs on your leg straps to allow the installation of a bungee cord to make sure that the leg straps stay still when you're sit flying. So that's a quick example. There may be some modification on the flaps that may be doable. So if you're looking to focus on free fly, take a particular attention to those free fly options from your chosen manufacturer. The next one is the handles. So that you may be more accustomed to, because that's something that we see very easily when comparing rigs on the drop zone. So you may see some have metal handles for the reserves, other actually have two soft handles on their container. So it's really a matter of the options they did choose when they order their own container. When we're starting out, the student rigs always have the metal handle, but again, here, depending on the type of skydive you're doing, for example, for free fly, again, you may not want to have the metal handle because it offers a hole where something could get in and pull the reserve handle prematurely. So for that matter, in terms of free fly disciplines, we want to make sure we have two soft handles, and that includes as well the main pallet chute handle. You have different options you can choose from. There's the hacky style handle, which is a ball. There's a PVC tube type as well that exists, which is actually a plastic cylinder, mostly for students. And the last one is really a free fly handle, which is again, a soft handle, a pillow handle, but which has also a tab on it so that you can really squeeze the tab in your container and avoid premature opening when you're flying down at crazy speeds because you're sit flying, for example. Now let's talk about the hardware, because again, there are some options you can choose from for the metal pieces on your skydiving container. The most basic one that you may see is the cadmium. I wouldn't recommend it for a new container because that's simply a metal alloy that may wear and even corrode in time, so its appearance will change and it's gonna wear faster while using your container. Another option you may see is, of course, stainless steel. That would be really the option of choice when you're looking at getting your own skydiving container nowadays. So stainless steel hardware, make sure the appearance rests the same and it doesn't wear as easily. And as you're seeing on my container, mine are black, so that's another option that you could add as well. So those are still stainless steel, but with a black tint. Next, some manufacturer may offer a hook knife with your skydiving container. Again, those may be standard or an extra cost option, and those may be located in different places depending on the container brand. So some have their hook knife on the leg strap, others on the main web here, and I've even seen some on the chest strap actually. You may also see some options for the leg pads. So again, it may be for the comfort, so the padding on the leg pads, but there's also the design of the leg pads. Some manufacturers may offer one-piece leg pads or two pieces leg pads. So those are really to your liking. At first there was only the one piece leg pads, but now we're seeing the two pieces, which provides a bit more flexibility and movement into the harness. So that would be more appropriate again for disciplines where you fly in various orientations. The riser covers can also have some options from the manufacturer. So some riser covers, which is actually the part where it covers your risers, but some will use tuck tabs to close them. Others may use magnets. That's becoming more and more popular amongst the new designs. So again, that's an option that you may want to look at and choose for yourself. It's really to your liking. Now let's talk about risers. Again, there may be some options to choose different types of risers. The most popular and common one are the 17 inches narrow with the mini ring. So those are the most common one. You may also see and hear about the type 8 risers, which are more for student and tandem rigs because those are 2 inches wide. So that's less appropriate for a fun jumper. The next option is an important one, and it's about the safety system that you want to have on your container. So here we're talking about an RSL and or a MARD system. So your RSL is a lanyard that is attached to your main canopy risers, and that goes all the way back to your reserve pin. So as you cut away in a situation where you have to do a cutaway, in a malfunction situation, for example, when you release your main canopy, the lanyard will actually pull your reserve pin. So in the case where you don't have enough time to reach for your reserve handle, well, your main canopy will pull on the reserve pin. So that will allow your reserve deployment sequence to start. The difference with the MARD system is that the MARD system is connected to your reserve deploying bag through, again, still an RSL. So the RSL as part of a MARD system is connected to your main canopy risers, but then on the deployment bag of the reserve, not the pin. That way, as you are cutting away your main canopy, the main canopy acts as a big pilot chute to extract your reserve canopy. That provides quicker and more reliable reserve deployments. So those are two options that you can have. There's also an option of not having any of those. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. Nowadays, they have proven to be reliable and save lives. So that's all what's matter in my own opinion when talking about skydiving gear. As an example, for me, I have the Mojo Mard from Rigging Innovations inside my Curve container. It's their own design of a Mard system. Other manufacturers will have their own design, and you've all heard about the Skyhook, which was the first Mard system invented and provided on the market by UPT. Nowadays, we're starting to see a lot more different types and brands of Mard system. And the last option you may run into that may or may not be relevant to you, but if you're looking to get a container to do wingsuit, then you may want to look. Some manufacturers are offering wingsuit modification, a little bit with the same mindset than the FREEFLY modification. But for a wingsuit container, you might see longer bridle for the pilot chute to make sure that your pilot chute can get out of your burble when you're flying with a wingsuit because you have a larger burble. And also there's the dynamic corners, as they call them. And also the bottom of the container may have a modification to have a tailgate type of opening to allow more space and make sure that the deployment bag gets out in a better shape when you have a wingsuit on. There you go. I hope this will help you make a wiser decision when you will buy your own skydiving container. Now, let me know in the comments if you have any questions about containers in general, or what piece of equipment or what gear would you like me to talk about next. Let me know your questions below and I'll make sure to make a video to answer them. On that, as always, keep jumping, stay safe, and blue skies.